Alright, welcome back to my channel, guys. For those of you who don't know, my name is Sam. I'm the one who originated this channel, and I also started the Facebook group Ute All the Cars. We are nearly to 20,000 members on that group now, and I'm super psyched on that. It's so cool, guys. I couldn't even imagine it would ever blow up this big. I'm actually not at home right now, and I'm not working on my Ute. I am at the Oregon City Skate Park. This is kind of my zen place. My best friend Garrett and I come here all the time. I've been coming here since I was 12 years old. I ride this skate park, I get a good sweat on. I ride my bike. This helped me quit smoking cigarettes about a year ago. Getting back into cardio and just doing tricks on my bike makes me feel like a kid again. It's really fun. And it helps me get out of the house, kind of get away from the garage sometimes. And I brought my dog. She loves it here as well. She loves to run around. She gets some mad airs herself. If you don't believe me, she has her own Instagram. And I have pictures and video of her on there jumping out of quarter pipes. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about my Ranchero. I'm really torn on this thing, and I really want some outside opinions on what I should do with it. I've been thinking about it a lot. It's been on my mind a lot. And man, I can't quite decide on my own. I would really love the opinions of some outside individuals, of some other people, you know, outside perspectives and ideas. Okay, so here goes. This is what I'm kind of wrestling with. As you guys know, the Ranchero has, I mean, almost perfect original patina paint. And I don't mean that the paint is perfect by any means. It's not. It's scratched and dented and rusted. But for those people who like patina, it is mint. It is just right. We could leave it forever, restore everything underneath it, and drive this car, and it would look so sick just the way it is. But I personally, if I'm going to be making this my car, my hot rod, my Ute, that I'm going to have a V8 in, it's going to be a gas guzzler, it's a 74, so it's pre-emissions, I can keep it registered forever and ever, and they can't ever tell me I can't. I gotta say that there's parts of this body style that I'm not in love with. And it's not the front end. The 74 Gran Torino style Ranchero front end, gorgeous. I love it. I couldn't possibly hate on it at all. It's mint. It's perfect. I'm gonna leave it just like it was. But to be honest, this is a big ass heavy 70s car. The back of the truck, it's like a long bed. Like if there was such a thing as a Ranchero short bed, this would be the long bed version, because it is long and it has a ton of steel and it's really heavy, and the frame is super long. When you look at it, you can't hardly believe what kind of a shape of a car that it only sits two people. Basically, you see a huge long boat frame, and it's meant for a Gran Torino wagon. You look up a 74 Gran Torino wagon, it's a big 4-door station wagon. It has the exact same body as the Ranchero, but it's just a station wagon instead. In my opinion, I think the Ute could have afforded to be a little shorter and lighter. Maybe even shorter wheelbase, but I'm not gonna mess with the wheelbase. That's not a consideration right now. I think the wheelbase, it just would be prohibitively expensive to mess with anything. I want to leave all of the suspension components original. I didn't know this when I jumped into this project, but the Ranchero actually comes with a factory 4-link in the rear, and that surprised me a lot. I didn't know that. I didn't suspect that. I expected it to be leaf springs like almost every other old car that I've ever worked on, so it's kind of neat that it has a 4-link in it. But originally when I bought this car, I was thinking what would be really cool, I thought the bed was going to be rusted too. If the bed was rusted too, if the whole back of the car was rusted, I was definitely going to cut it off. I was going to cut it off, and I was going to do kind of a tribute to what the Aussies would call like a one-tonner, or just a flatbed Ute. The Australians are really the guys who have this Ute thing on lock. They have all the cool Utes there, and they had all the factory Utes, and they had all sorts of different kinds. And the one-tonner specifically is like a heavy-duty Ute. It came with like overload springs and stuff. It's genuinely like a truck. It's meant to haul a lot. Come with big engine. And instead of having the fleet side like what my Ranchero has, it had a cab back all the way down to the floor, and it had a flatbed I'll drop some pictures here so you guys can envision what I'm talking about. I really like this style. There's a lot of cool perks to it. Some of the possible pros to doing this is that currently I really need to cut the whole floor out of the car and replace it. And if I'm going to do all that, it'd be really nice to be able to get underneath the car, or work on the bottom of the car. And I don't have a rotisserie, so I don't have any way to turn it over right now. But if it were to have a cab back, I could flip it onto that back, and then I could work on the whole floor in my garage. Obviously, if I cut the whole back half of the car off, it would do an immense amount of weight reduction. And speaking as a, we'll call it shade tree engineer, I personally like things to be easy to maintain, easy to take apart, and not in such big pieces. And the body of this car, being that it basically holds its entire bed as part of the body, it's kind of a bad design. Being body on frame, I really wish that they had actually done the bed as a separate piece anyways, because it would have just worked a lot better that way, in my opinion. The other thing I thought about doing is, I used to have a Toyota bed on a Toyota pickup that was bobbed, and I thought maybe I could bob the Ranchero bed, but if I did that, I would still mess up the paint, the patina, pretty much just as bad as if I were to cut the whole thing off. And if I cut the whole thing off, there's some other perks. One of the perks would be that I could sell all the original sheet metal. And ironically, now that I've got the car and I've taken it all apart and seen what it actually is made of, the back of the car is actually the most solid part. The whole bed is almost rust-free. The whole, like the entire floor of the bed is one solid piece. There's not a single hole that I've seen. And the bed sides are in excellent condition. And honestly, if I did happen to cut all those pieces off in order to convert mine into a flatbed, I could probably sell a lot of that sheet metal off and get some money back that I could then reinvest in the project. Obviously, if I cut it off and turn it into a flatbed, it's gonna mean kind of wrecking the patina in a way. But I did say that I was gonna do whatever I wanted to this one, because looking at the floors, I mean, the floors are bad. They are gone, and I'm pretty much going to be doing a replacement on them. And as far as I can find, nobody makes a specific floor pan in a reproduction type, like hole, for this car. They make some really kind of junky Chinese front floor pans that aren't even like the originals at all, that are just little pieces of steel that are kind of stamped like the originals, cut to shape like the originals, and you're just meant to weld them in and then go from there, I guess. But even that, those are quite a bit more expensive than just steel at the steel yard. So I'm probably just going to be sort of hand forming some steel, welding in the floor pans. And after that, this car is never going to be like a Mecum car anyways. It's never going to be an auction car or anything. This is meant to be my hot rod. I really want to make it into kind of a street strip car. And that's another benefit of turning it into a flatbed, is that I really wanted to put some big meats in the back. And I could tub the original sheet metal, but it would just be more sheet metal work, when really that's not exactly what I want to do. So yeah, I guess I'm torn between the three options. I've considered just leaving the fleet sides alone, maybe gutting them out, cutting the floor of the bed out, and just trying to retain the original look, because it does look so clean. But it's not my favorite idea, to be honest. I'm really torn, but I feel like just cutting it in half and saying fuck it and doing it. And then, I suppose one day if I changed my mind, I could find another 74 Ranchero, cut the ass off of it, and we'll just Zeus it back together, right? Okay, so yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this. And if you have any other thoughts about my channel, about the car, about Utes in general, I'd love to hear it. If you're not already on my group, Ute All the Cars, then you should go check that out on Facebook. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. All those places. Sometimes I have some footage on there that don't go up anywhere else. So especially if you follow me on TikTok, you will see some videos that don't go up anywhere else. So yeah, check that stuff out too, and thanks for watching. Bye.